Okay, I'm hoping the audio is going to work here since nobody's in the room. But what this is going to be a brief update on what happened with the suitcase murders trial today. Um, Today was jury selection, and they went through quite a few jurors, and they also did in the part of the morning portion is they went through some motions that both the defense and prosecution had. Some were granted to the prosecution, some to the defense, and some were basically put on the back burner. Now, I'm not going to go into specifics of the motions because it's kind of early in the process. I was in the courtroom today, and I was commenting and posting on a another live streaming site, Trial TV. And I probably from here on out, I'm going to be watching. Well, let me correct that. I will be in the court watching the trial, and I am going to be using the chat over on that website to comment on what happened because it's participating with their chat. This is a channel that I believe has just gone over the 3,000 subscriber mark, and it's well produced. The people are very dedicated in what they do, and they have a lot of connections throughout the state of Florida at the very least. She knows people that I know, and I was surprised, because it's a man and wife team, and um, they're damn good people, and if you have the chance, I would recommend you go over there because they have a lot to offer. They've got arrangements to where they stream trials all over the country. So if you're a true crime junkie, they're the place to go. And just for the record, they did not sponsor this clip. I'm still non payment, I'm not monetized. I don't have any sponsors at all, which would be kind of stupid because I only get a half a dozen people at any one time in here. And that's at the top of the list, so to speak. But um, I like to participate in true crime. I'm interested in the cases and so forth. And the suitcase murders is a local case. It happened right here in Orlando, about a half hour from my house in Winter Park, Florida. And it's a strange case for those of you who may not know about it. There was some kind of an interaction between a boyfriend, girlfriend, and he voluntarily got into a large suitcase. Kind of strange in itself, but that's what happened. The guy got voluntarily in a suitcase and she zipped it up. Well, guess what? The guy died. And she actually recorded this guy in the suitcase pleading for his life, saying, "Open up the suitcase. I can't breathe." And she didn't do it. I think she claimed that she went upstairs and fell asleep. She was drunk. And then came downstairs later and I don't know the whole story because I'm a little late getting into this case, but there's a video of this guy wanting to get out of the suitcase and she didn't let him out. And at one point it came out in court, the guy somehow managed to stick his head out or his hand out of the suitcase. And they didn't go into too much detail. A lot of lawyers do this in these cases. The prosecution and defense give kind of a mini opening argument to the jury pool that they're trying to select to give them a little bit about what the case is about. Um, the prosecution introduces themselves, the defense introduces themselves, and they also introduce the client, which in this case was Sarah Moore. I think I got the last name right. I don't know. At my age, my memory is worthless. But they introduced Sarah, and then the judge tells the jury some of the details of the case and what they're going to be selected for if they pass muster. And then the process, which is known as voir dire, begins. And this is basically screening all these people to come up with 6 jurors and alternates that will sit in the court for 2.5 weeks and listen to all his evidence and view the evidence, listen to testimony of everybody involved, and so forth. And so this thing started Monday. We've been waiting 4.5 years for this thing to come to trial. It's been an absolute mess. This woman went through a slew of lawyers. She kept firing them, and finally they got her to accept this group that's with her now, and the case is going forward. We hope. And so today was the second day of jury selection, and so far they have a pool of 54. They want more, and I believe out of that they are going to pick the final panel for the case. And there's now in the voir dire today, the prosecution asked all the questions of the jury, and they were quite thorough, and it actually took a long time. They started after lunch on this particular panel, and it went until almost 5:30 this afternoon. So good 3 hours or so of the jury being grilled, and they concentrated on people who drink heavily, get drunk, people who get involved in domestic issues. Um, Questions were asked of the jurors if they could consider that a man could be a victim of domestic violence, and all these very detailed questions to determine whether or not the jury could be fair and impartial in their consideration of the woman's innocence and guilt. And as is usually the custom in these things, some jurors got eliminated. And then they got eliminated either because they demonstrated extreme bias, or they said there were certain aspects of how our legal system works that they could not tolerate. One example is a woman was dismissed because she stated that if Sarah did not get on the stand and defend herself, that she could not find her not, she would automatically consider her guilty. And the problem is that under our legal system, if a person doesn't testify on their own behalf, they have that right. It's a Fifth Amendment right. It's one of the foundational rights that a person has in a court of law. You do not have to incriminate yourself. You do not have to testify against yourself. You can say, okay, I'm not going to testify, and the jury is not supposed to infer anything from that. And this particular juror just couldn't cross that hurdle, so she was dismissed. Or people dismissed because they have strong connections to law enforcement. One or two were dismissed because they had a bad experience in the court and they don't like it. And there was another one who could be loosely described as a QAnon, who um, listens to Breitbart and the extreme right, and they don't believe the mainstream media, and they couldn't move past their bias to judge this case, so she was dismissed. And so what we're left with now is the defense tomorrow gets to ask all these questions of this panel and then decide whether or not they're going to accept certain jurors. They want some jurors removed for cause and like that. So that's going to begin. Um, and I don't know how long that process is going to take. But if this goes well, uh, sometime Thursday and most likely Friday, the trial will begin with opening arguments. And so that's basically where we're at right now, is to see what's going to happen tomorrow. Now, the judge is going to do some business with other cases tomorrow. And so the jury selection is not going to begin until 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's going to be in the smaller courtroom that all this business started at. We did two different courtrooms today. We started out in A12, which is the standard courtroom in the Orange County Jail. And then the way he wanted to do things, he moved everybody upstairs in the afternoon to A23. And A23 is the courtroom that Casey Anthony was tried in. It's one of the most modern ones, state of the art and all that. So that's where the jury selection happened today. And normally the court shuts down at 4, maybe 5 o'clock, and everybody goes home. But we went over. We were almost to 5:30 at night before the judge said, "Okay, that's it for tonight. We're going to pick this up tomorrow." And so that's what's going to happen. And if they can get, like I said, and before, if they get the 6 jurors plus maybe 3 or 4 alternates, then the trial goes forward. So tomorrow is going to be a day that this teeter-totter can go either way. And so there would be jury selection, jury instruction, maybe a little bit of extra business that has to be done in this particular case, and then either Thursday or Friday we move forward. So, but again, what I want to say is I will try sometimes in live tweet, and I may live stream in the morning on the way to court, although I'm leaving very early in the morning tomorrow. Because I'm acting as kind of sort of a technical advisor to the individual that's running the live stream. So I'm going to meet him and his wife down there again tomorrow, and kind of help him get his ducks in a row and everything, and then I will then go to the courtroom, and I will be in the courtroom for the duration of the trial. I won't be live streaming. I will be live tweeting, and I will also be posting in their chat. And if you think this case would be interesting, I would recommend you go to Trial TV, because it's a very active group. There's quite a number of people in their chat over there, and they're polite with each other. There's no trolling or any of that nonsense. It's a good, straightforward chat that these quality streams have, and I think it would, you would learn a lot about how the court procedure works, because it's rare that a voir dire is streamed to the public. This is one of the few judges that does it under Florida law. It can be done, and this judge does it. He's done it consistently. So that gives everybody a chance to see the meticulous details of the jury selection working. And it's going to be an open court from beginning to end. Okay, the docket is Florida versus Sarah Moore. Um, and this is what's known as the suitcase murders. Now, what I'm going to do is um, I'm going to try and get the link to this website. It's Trial TV. Um, I want to make, number one, I want to make sure that I get the name right. Oh, it's Boone. Of course, I got the name completely wrong. It's Sarah Boone. Ba-boom, ba-boom. Let's see, share. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to post it to my Twitter account. And so let me go over to my. Boy, a lot of options. And let me go in here and see if this goes through. Okay, this is the link to the website on YouTube, and you can also, if you look on Twitter, they have Twitter. They're on all the social media, which is something I probably ought to do if I was anyway possible to grow this channel. But you can go there and you know like, subscribe, hit the notification, and they have a notify me option. Like what notification is for when they go on the air. Um, you will get them and just okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on my page here. So, because I'm kind of doing this off the fly here. I don't edit this like I normally do my. So this is. So, okay, this is the website. And I don't know why my IAPP is showing up there, but it did. I believe that's because of it was a tweet that I put out, and that's why that's there. But it's Florida versus Boone, and this was the early, and this is the what's going to happen tomorrow. And let's see, let me look and see when they're starting here. Um, they're saying they're going to start at 8:45 in the morning. Now that generally means that they're going to have their chat and like that. So if you go over there, you will see their chat and so on. And since I posted it in Twitter, if you find my post on Twitter where I mentioned this, you can automatically be directed into the stream site. You don't have to um, type it in or anything like that. That's there in case you want to do that. But if you go to my Twitter, or X now as it's known, it should be there. Now, this trial is supposed to last 2.5 weeks, and they're going to be there every day, as will I, covering the case. And like I repeatedly said, I'm going to be um, commenting on their chat that they have that accompanies this um, live stream. And I will try on occasion to um, come over to Twitter and do some live tweets. I may do brief summaries uh, during the morning break, the 1 o'clock break, and a break in the afternoon, depending on how the judge works things. Today it was we had like a 10-minute break and we had to be in the courtroom, so it's not enough time for me to run and find a place to um, do my stand up and get back in court in time. But you know, tomorrow is a different day, so you know we'll see what happens. And there, this gives you a better look at the page. I forgot I put the link up there, but but this is a very, very, very good um, channel. So anyway, uh, I think that's enough. People will check in. Um, no, I will not be live tweeting. What I will do is on Friday, I will come in like I'm doing now, and we can have a discussion about everything's happened up to Friday. But I will not be live tweeting the trial. I could, but I think it would be better if I go over to their website and participate because it's such a large group. There's over 300 people that chat in that room, and it's interactive. Unfortunately, here, I I just don't have enough people in the chat. I appreciate you, Lori, coming in, and some of the other people that come through, but um, you know, if you want to have a good conversation with several hundred people that are interested in the case that you're watching, that is the place to go because there's a whole bunch of people over there. They're very friendly, it's well moderated, um, and it's worth checking out. I think you guys would like it and spread the word. Um, there's a lot of popular YouTubers and social media creators in the true crime genre that know these people. I don't know if you've ever heard of Wendy Williams, but she participates. She basically comes to court and does the chat. Um, and there's just you have to see it to believe it. It's a really good site, and I think you guys would like it if you went over there and checked it out. So spread the good word, and I'll be there tomorrow, you know, bright and early. And if you go to that website, you'll see me in their chat. And, stop in, say hello to everybody, and let them know I sent you in there. And get as many people as you can to come in and say hello, and check it out. I think you'll like it. And that's it for me tonight. I'm going to go ahead and log off now. Hopefully, I'll see some people in the stream tomorrow over on Trial TV Live. That's the full name, by the way. I keep saying Trial TV and not put the live on there, but they are Trial TV Live because they're like me. They're live. So, have a good night. Thanks for stopping in and taking a look. And I'll see everybody tomorrow. Good night.